Hello, everyone, and welcome to the beginning of our course, ED 583, Administration in the Schools. I hope that the summer gave you an opportunity to relax with your families, whether it was a very busy summer, a very hectic summer, a summer spent preparing for a new school year. But I hope that there was some time for rest and relaxation, particularly between our summer session and as we start our new fall semester. I look forward to working with all of you and getting to know you in a new capacity as students in my class this fall. And I hope that you will appreciate having an opportunity to look at the start of the course just a little bit early. This will go live on the first week, but I will have made the course segments available to you so that hopefully as you listen to my overview of the program and the placement of things in Canvas, you will have a better recollection of how to navigate the course. If you have questions at any time about course content, please contact me. If you have questions about the IT issues, check with me first to see if things are up and running. Sometimes I can tell you how to go behind the scenes. And if that doesn't work, you can always contact either Marymount's IT department or you can contact Canvas. I've had great success in making phone calls to them and having them actually walk me through what I needed to do. So there are lots of ways that we try to help and support you. So we begin with the course on homepage, and you will see a lovely picture of the main house at Marymount in the fall to welcome you. And so we have a welcome letter. I hope you will read that as it gives you an overview of the course, grading, and other procedures that I'm sure you're interested in learning about. The syllabus is on the home page for your reference. You will see a listing week by week of the topics, the reading assignments, the written assignments, though the details will be saved until we get into the appropriate week. But it will give you an opportunity to plan ahead and to see just how much time you need for everything. So each of the sections then in your Canvas site is directed to facilitate your usage and navigation of the program. So every week when you come to the home page, you will then first of all go to the module. And there are 15 weeks to our course, so there are 15 modules. Everything contained within the week's module is all that you need for that week. And so I encourage you to become familiar with that. As you begin, you want to first check the announcements for the week to see if there are any changes, any observations, anything that I would ask you to take note of, maybe based on correcting papers or dialoguing with you in our conversations. And after you read the announcements, which would have the latest updates of any news, then since we are a Catholic institution, and since if we were in a classroom, I would begin the class with a prayer, I have provided a weekly prayer for you for each of your modules. I hope that you will take advantage of this and actually begin your class session with this prayer. Some of them are oldies and goodies, the Hail Mary, the Memorare, prayers that we've grown up with since our childhood. Others are prayers that you can use for a faculty meeting or a staff meeting, and I encourage you to feel free to use those at a faculty meeting or a staff meeting, particularly in your first year when you don't know where to turn and what to find. So I have given you those, and I hope that you will find them meaningful, reflective, but useful as well. After you pray the prayer, then there are three sections. There's the content, there is the discussion, and there is the assignment. I would encourage you to take a quick look at all three sections and then go back and start your week's work. So within the section marked content, you will see either a script of what I might say in a class, a PowerPoint, a video. You will find reflections of mine that are based on the readings that you have prepared the previous week. So in week 2, what I have written will be based on largely what you have read in the assignments for week 1. In week 3, my presentation will relate to what you have read as an assignment for week 2. If you think about being in class, leaving class with a reading assignment, coming back to school the next week, and the professor talks about that. So I use that same model in the way I set up my content in my modules. And so I hope you will find them helpful. And a lot of what I have there are the highlights of what I feel is important, as well as a lot of personal reflection and application. The discussion questions are topics that you need to discuss. You must make a minimum of 3 entries per week. It does not have to be in every topic, but they must be substantive. Therefore, yes, no, I agree, and I disagree. Unless you provide content as to why, they do not count. And so I would expect you to read and listen to all of the contributions that students make in each topic. You do not have to make a contribution in each topic, but you do need to read or listen to what your colleagues have contributed. You must make a minimum of 3, you can do more, but a minimum of 3 topics somewhere in the week. So if there's 1 topic only, you'll make all 3 in that. If there are 3 topics, you could make 1 in each of 3. You could make 3 in 1 and listen to the other 2. It's up to you how your time allows you to do that and your interest level. Some things are things you'd prefer to listen to others, and others you want to get in there and give your own opinion, and that's important. I ask that you make 1 entry of your 3 entries by Wednesday so that people can build on what others are saying and not have everybody wait till Saturday or Sunday night to make a contribution. So my courses run Monday to Monday, so they will be visible at 6 a.m. on Monday morning, and your final discussion board must be due no later than 11:59 the following Sunday evening. So in asking you to make a contribution at least by Wednesday, I do not, and I will stop for a moment, different professors have different ways of doing discussion. So you need to be certain as you go through the program that you discern and ask what a professor expects. I do not want every student to answer the question. So I have 15 or 20 multiple answers to the same question. And then to pick one, that's not what I want. I want the first person who responds to make a response. I want the second person who comes in to build on that response, and the third person to build on that response, and the fourth person to build, and so on, much as you would in a live class discussion. If I asked a question in class, I wouldn't go around the room and have you all answer it like an end of the book chapter test. I want you to build on one another in a cohesive, community-like way so that you're benefiting from one another and you're expanding and growing on what one another has to offer. So that I would prefer that you build and that the first person makes the first comment, and then it should flow like a regular conversation, like a regular class discussion. And for me, I've learned over the years, I will not post a comment unless I see you've gone way off track. I will not post a comment until the end of the week. And that is because I've learned that sometimes I might make a comment on, let's say, the third person who came in, and I might steal what you would like to say, and then you don't know what you want to say next. So what I tend to do is I listen or read all of the comments on your topic. And then at the very end, I try, usually on Monday after it's all closed off, I try to make a comment that pulls together and synthesizes all that you have contributed as a class. So I will be reading it during the week, but I will not respond. It doesn't mean I'm not reading it. I'm waiting till the end to pull it all together and kind of provide an overall summary of what everyone has said. So after the discussion section, we now have the assignment section. And in that, you will find your reading assignment for each week. So for week 1, that is what you will need to read this week before we start week 2. And my comments and discussion next week, as I mentioned, will be based and refer back to the readings that you've done this week. The assignment section will also contain any written assignments. I try to give you at least 2 weeks planning time for a written assignment, whether it's a case study, whether it's the governance model, whether it's the final exam. The final exam, as I mentioned, is located on the homepage. And I hope that as you go through the course, because you will be asked to comment on different theories, that you will take note of that final exam and take some notes so that when you get to the end of the course, it will be easier for you to go back and find exactly what you want to include in your final. And so I will give you time with those. I do usually ask that your papers that you write are usually due by 11 a.m., usually, not always, but usually on a Tuesday morning. The dates are in your syllabus, and they will be given again in the assignment section. And I don't like to have you do something and have it due on Monday. I think that's hard if you've had a weekend with children and activities. So written assignments are usually due on a Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so that even if you might be 3 time zones away, it's still before you go to school that day. So I expect if the assignment's due Tuesday, you're having it completed before you go to school, your own school, on Tuesday morning. Don't worry if Canvas gives you a message that your assignment is late. It is programmed to know what is the due date. And therefore, if the paper is not handed in, it sends you a note that you have a late assignment. It posts it in rather large letters. Don't worry about that. My policy on lateness, I hope you will stay up with us. But if for some reason you need to be late in discussion board or a written paper, I will not take off because I know that things come up, meetings, accreditation, family needs. So I will not take off if you are late, provided you contact me before the assignment is due, ask me for an extension of 1, 2, 3 days, and give me a reasonable reason why you need that. Now, you can't do that every week. You can't do that for every assignment. But I do feel, and I think all of our professors follow the same procedure, life does keep us occupied sometimes, and we just can't burn the candle at both ends. So we want to be understanding of that. But with that in mind, then you need to let me know before the assignment is due and ask for an extension. On the other hand, if you don't let me know and 3 days later you tell me it was late because, I am going to take off for that. So all you have to do is ask, but don't take advantage of it unless it's a real necessity. Okay? I'm here to help you. We're not here to make anything difficult. We do try to understand that life can be complicated and it is demanding to take 2 courses a semester. But please do let us know what is going on. Also on your Canvas site, you will see something called Conference. And this is our chat room, so to speak. We may also use some Zoom throughout the course, but I'll let you know if we do that. You are always free to contact me by email, by telephone. But on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from about 6:45 to 8:30 Eastern Time, and you'll see that posted in multiple places, but Tuesday and Thursday evenings, I try to be available. It is optional if you want to come online and chat. I do not have an agenda or a topic. It is not required and it is not graded. But I will be there if you want to see me face to face and either ask a question about what we've been reading, a clarification about what an assignment that might be due, or if a few of you want to get on and have a conversation with me about something, that's fine. But it is optional, but I am there for you. It's just another avenue in which we can get together with one another and talk if you are so inclined to do so. So to recap, to navigate the course, you'll start every week. It opens up on the home page with those general things: netiquette, syllabus, welcome letter, final exam, rubric, the professional standards of educational leadership, the rubric for PCEL 10, which is the one that relates to this course. And at the end of this course, I will return that rubric to you and I will score it. It does not count towards your grade. It's pretty comparable with your grade, but it is more of an assessment tool and gives you an idea of, in measuring against the national standards, where you kind of fall. So we'll talk about how that comes back to me later on. But for now, that's your homepage. Then you'll go to your module or your announcements. First, go to your announcements and see if there's anything new. There is a way that you can have the announcements pop up in your email. However, most people don't want to be inundated with so many emails. So please check the announcements weekly. That is your responsibility. If I've changed a date, if I've offered some additional commentary on a reading or an assignment, or if something's just going on that I've observed and I want to talk about it. Then you will pray your opening prayer and then take a look at your content, your discussion questions, and your readings that will be due for the following week. Then go back and start. So the content that I propose will be the content based on what you've prepared in your readings. The discussion questions will relate pretty much to what you've prepared in your readings. So next week, the discussion board will relate to the chapters you're reading this week in week 1. And as you move through that, then you will find that the correlation, you'll get into a rhythm of how to handle that. So the content will be my commentary on what you've read for the week. The discussion will be your commentary on discussions related to the week. And then the assignment section will give you the reading assignment that you need to complete before the following Monday, as well as any written assignment that's coming up within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that's your navigation as you're going to go through and move through the different areas so that you know the sequencing and how things are related to one another. So my comment about, or my content area, will generally supplement your reading. And again, give me an opportunity to highlight some significant areas that I think are important and provide some practical application, often stories from my own experience of being an elementary or secondary teacher, or principal, assistant superintendent, or even working here with our students here at Marymount. The discussion will relate to those readings, and it's a good idea to take a look at those questions and then kind of leave those in the back of your mind so that you can at least respond to one by Wednesday night. And then again, you can get your dates, due dates for written assignments are in the syllabus, but it is under assignments that you will find the details of the assignment when it is necessary for you to look at that. And so this pretty much gives you an overview of how the course will run. I hope that this helps you to understand the rhythm of the course as we begin. This week, in place of a formal discussion, I have created a survey and I've filled it out myself. And so I've given you some information about me. So what you need to do is copy and paste the survey, hit reply, copy and paste the survey, and then fill in the questions as they pertain to you. so that we all have an opportunity as a refresher to get to know one another and to know who's the avid reader and who's the sports enthusiast and who wants to get a PhD and who's a teacher and who's a principal and who's a DRE and who's an athletic director or whatever your particular role might be. Please feel free to comment. Please feel free to contact me by email or phone if you have questions. I do try to get back to you within 48 hours, if possible. I do not respond to email too late in the evening, and I think that's a wise thing for you to do as teachers and principals. We live in an age where the later we respond, people expect a response, and they're going to come right back with even more. And I do believe that you have a right to family time, and as a teacher or a principal in your school, your parents need to respect that as well. So a lot of what I do with you in the program, I will also be trying to give you some personal tips on how to be a principal, a director, a leader in your school, whatever that might be. So I look forward to this first week and to getting to know you, getting to work with you. You can email, you can call, you can get online for discussion. Know that you are in my prayers. I am delighted that you are with us in this course, and I look forward to a fruitful semester, an exciting semester, and it's going to be an engaging semester for you as well. So have a very blessed week, and God bless you.